What is up, guys and gals? Welcome to another episode of the Nonsense Review. Episode 188 to be specific. That's right, the exact same speed as the fastest moving ball in the fastest moving ball sport.
Oh, okay.
Do you want to take a stab at the name of this sport? You're not going to get it.
No, BB gun.
BB gun, so just shooting.
Yeah, just shooting BB gun at other person's head.
That's not a ball.
It's spherical.
It's not a ball in the term of sports.
Yeah, fair enough. What's the fastest ball I can think of? Probably tennis.
I think cricket's faster than tennis.
Is it cricket? Okay, fair enough.
It's not cricket. No, the answer is
It's not even cricket.
The answer is Jai-Alai.
Jai-Alai. Okay, yeah, I have never heard of those syllables in that order.
Okay, so I've seen this sport in play, but I didn't know it had any record. It's the fastest recorded moving ball speed in a ball-based sport at 188 mile per hour, which is fucking fast.
It is and all.
It's
100 miles an hour more than the time machine, so that's pretty quick.
But yeah, it's played mostly in Florida, basically. Spain and France also do it, but US state of Florida has made it kind of their national sport. If you can make a national sport for a state,
so like an alligator version of lacrosse, I assume.
Okay, so you've got a wall, you've got 3 walls, and the players play on a court, and you basically keep whacking this ball against the wall, and it gets really fucking fast. And helmets weren't a requirement until a player got fucking so badly concussed they could never do it again.
Right, yeah, powerful.
Which is, I'm surprised they only got injured to the extent that they can't do sport no more and didn't die.
Yeah, at that speed, you would assume the death.
Like, I can only assume that the ball is soft.
Yeah. So it's a bit like, not badminton, squash.
I guess it would be, yeah, except they use, like, these wicker things on their arms to toss the thing.
Right, okay.
Yeah, so it's like...
like a Wolverine scoop.
Yeah, that's a good way of describing it. But anyway, I'm your host as always, Devon, and joining me equally as always is Rick.
Hello, everybody.
Now, today, for the little preamble, we're going to do Scooby-Doo and Scrappy-Doo. How much do you know about this show, Rick?
Well, I know it came out on it was the 22nd of September in 1979.
There we go.
And a week before this, Galaxian came out, and a week after this, Bam Margera came out.
Oh, he was born, was he?
Yeah.
Oh, fair enough. Yeah, that's... Man, we should do a retrospective on Jackass.
Maybe so. The only Jackass I've actually seen is the movie.
There's like 4 of those now.
Okay, the first movie.
Yeah, okay, I've seen... Here's the thing, is I was prime age for Jackass. So, like, I didn't live it, obviously, because it's one of those where I took the warning at the beginning of the show seriously, and even if it didn't have the warning, that shit looks like it hurts. I don't want to do that, but I watch other people do it.
Oh, yeah. Tying a bottle rocket to your willy and then firing out of your arse.
I didn't do shit quite like that.
Well, they did it in the movie.
I don't remember them tying anything to their willy and firing it.
Yeah, they tied a bottle... Well, they wrapped someone's willy up in masking tape and then tied a bottle rocket to that and then fired it out of his arse.
Okay, yeah, so they fired a rocket out someone's arse, but it wasn't tied to the willy. They just covered up the willy so the willy didn't get burned.
Maybe so that they could show it on the movie as well.
Okay, but like if you're firing a rocket out someone's arse, the first thing health and safety wise is let's try and prevent 3rd-degree burns here.
Yeah. Although they didn't prevent any burns on their arse.
Yeah, but at least the arse could take a burning, you know?
Yeah.
We're a little bit off topic, I suppose. Yeah, fair enough. So yeah, on the topic of Scooby-Doo and Scrappy-Doo, as Rick pointed out, it first aired on 22nd of November 1979 for a run of 16 episodes. It's a very short run as far as Scooby-Doo is concerned.
That's surprisingly short.
It is. It's the 4th incarnation of Scooby-Doo cartoons, and we'll be watching the first episode of it today. We're skipping the 3rd generation of Scooby-Doo because we didn't want to do it.
Yeah. Plus, Scrappy is kind of infamous.
We'll get to that.
Scrappy. Yeah, the Scrappy is a trope on TV tropes for a reason.
Yeah, so this series, unsurprisingly, introduces Scrappy-Doo, as the title suggests. Believe it or not, an immensely popular character at the time.
Yeah.
So much so that essentially Scooby-Doo, the cartoon and the franchise, was saved by Scrappy-Doo. The network, ABC, was threatening to outright cancel Scooby-Doo until this series came out, and it worked wonders. So essentially the team behind Scooby-Doo looked at the formula and they were like, shit, this is a formula and it's kind of not working anymore. We need to change something. And that change was Scrappy.
Yeah. And the real thing that saved it, I guess, was removing Scrappy later.
Well, he got overplayed in the 80s and he kind of hasn't come back since. But mentioning that, Scrappy-Doo has garnered quite a negative reputation lately. I know a lot of people shit on Scrappy-Doo, but I think the most infamous is probably Mr. James Gunn.
Yeah.
So he wrote the screenplay for the live-action movie of Scooby-Doo, which had Scrappy-Doo as the villain. Baffling choice. But James Gunn straight up said their entire goal was to destroy Scrappy forever.
Fair.
Yeah, but did he deserve it? No.
No, not really. It's one of these where, when a character is a child, you can't stay too mad at them as an adult watching media.
It's one of those where they could have just not involved Scrappy-Doo in the live-action movie and people wouldn't have blinked, Yeah. Now, I haven't watched the live-action movie. I'm vaguely aware that Scrappy-Doo is the villain for some fucking reason.
Yeah, I'm also vaguely aware of this, but also I've only seen the second movie.
That's even weirder than not seeing it at all.
I know, right? My mum wanted to see a film that day, and that's what was on, so we went to see that.
I'm not criticising, it's you gotta admit, it's odd.
It is.
But yes.
Very odd.
So Scrappy-Doo, originally voiced by, I'm gonna butcher this guy's surname, I apologise, Lenny Reinrieb. He was the original voice of Scrappy-Doo, only voiced him for this series.
Sure.
So what happened is this series came out, the show was popular, and the VA, Lenny, straight up said, cool, can I have more money please? And the studio went, no, and then he got fired. So it is what it is. That's kind of how VAs get treated in general.
Sure.
After this series, basically whoever voices Scooby voices Scrappy as well.
Yep.
And weirdly enough, this fella Lenny Reinrieb also voiced young Fred Flintstone in the Flintstone Kids, but only for the first season.
Okie dokie.
So it seems like he had a habit of voicing people, that thing being popular enough for more, and saying, cool, I want more money then, please. And the people going, no.
Sure.
But yeah, just a bit of background at the time. Topping the music charts was Gary Newman with the song Cars.
Okay.
And a day prior to this, the film The Onion Field was just released in cinemas, starring one James Woods and John Savage.
Okay.
So a bit of context for the time period. Shit was grim.
Oh boy.
But yes, that about does it for our little brief recap and summary on what we're actually tackling today. Before we actually get into the meat of the review and the reaction itself, what we like to do is talk about our weeks and the goings-on in the wide universe. So with that in mind, Rick, how's your week been, buddy?
Well, I've been playing Pokemon Cosmo, which is a Fakemon ROM hack full of completely new designs, and it's been fun so far, apart from the fact that the gym leaders have been infuriatingly hard.
One of the funniest things, I always get a smile on my face when the first things out of your lips for a review week is, so I've been playing Pokemon blah 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 blah, and it's just like, okay, I wish I could be as passionate about ROM hacks as you are.
Yeah, well, I think part of it is just chasing the high of getting, how fun it was to play individual Pokemon games for the first time. And the way to do this, really, is to go in on ROM hacks that have, a full new region that someone's made. And even better when they've got Fakemons. So this one's both.
Yeah.
But yes, even the first boss, the first gym has Thunderbolt. That's how bullshit things are. Whereas the same Pokemon, if you use it, the best thing they have is Thundershock, which is less than half as powerful.
I mean, sure, but gyms are still monotypes, right?
Yeah. So there's the monotype challenge of, okay, this is a bug gym. This is a bug electric thing with Thunderbolt, and the next thing is a bug fighting thing that has fighting stuff and Rock Slide. So they've got really good coverage. All they have is one weakness in common, but even then, they probably have a way to work around that.
Okay.
They also have another gimmick of the gyms cap your levels, and getting a badge increases the level cap by 5.
Okay, but here's the thing, right, is they do that in a lot of ROM hacks, and honestly, it's a real artificial way of making the game tougher.
Yeah.
If you're struggling against a gym, one of the beauties of it is you can just grind for 5 hours.
Mm-hmm.
You shouldn't, but you can. It's there. It's an option. I don't like that option being taken away.
Yeah. Another thing is we got an air fryer.
This is newsworthy, is it?
yeah. It's one of these things. We've got a lot of family friends who every time we talk to them, they go, "Have you got an air fryer yet?" And apparently we can now tell them to shut up because yes, we do.
The air fryer thing is so baffling because the main selling point is it uses less electricity, so you can save on your power bill.
Yeah, it's a tabletop oven. There is less space in it, so it gets to full temperature quicker, and that's pretty much it.
Yeah. I was told because we've got an air fryer, Rick, because I didn't think it was newsworthy, so I didn't bring it up. Could you see the subtle jab, listeners? Yeah, it's one of those where I've never really seen the point because we have an oven that works. But then I was told, oh, by the way, it can fry chips as if they're cooked in a chippy. And I went, okay, let's test this out. No, they fucking don't.
Yeah, they do chips as if they're oven chips.
Yeah.
Which, is good enough and also quicker, but yeah.
If you don't have space for an oven, then yeah, an air fryer is great. However, if we're getting to the point in society where a place you live doesn't have space for an oven, is it even a place to live?
Yeah. Other things that have happened. A lady in Washington has fed so many raccoons that the police had to be called after 100 raccoons were laying siege to a house all at once, demanding food.
Laying siege?
Yes. They were just outside, just like expectantly awaiting food. And the lady hasn't been named, but when I was scanning the article, the closing remarks were, by all accounts, this is too many raccoons, says Kronk. And it turns out there was just another neighbour whose name was like Kathy Kronk.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, this is always the problem with feeding wild animals, because wild animals have to scavenge and hunt and usually use most of their life as a gathering. Like, it's what they use to... Most of their time is used getting food. That is what I was trying to say, but my brain kept failing me. I'm sorry for floundering. So, if there is a cheat in terms of time way of getting food, the animal is then going to just go, oh, if I just show up here, I will get food. Yeah,
it's why raccoons have become kind of half domesticated in that they're having a really good time of like being in America because they've all gotten pretty chubby and they just live in trash in like garbage bins.
Yeah, raccoons are a problem though because they can still act like a fucking animal.
Oh yeah, and they can still have rabies. The complaints about these raccoons is that quite a lot of them have gotten into fights with dogs, and also a lot of them have been showing up dead on the road because they keep getting hit because there's so fucking many of them.
Yeah, that last part's not too funny, but you saying they keep getting in fights with dogs, I'm just picturing, like, closing time at the local boozer.
Yeah. Come on, I'll have you now, hey!
Well, let's just do it as a Scouser bumps into a Mank, and that's the night's entertainment.
Yeah, a Chihuahua and a raccoon. I'll leave you to imagine which one is which.
I mean, the Chihuahua wins.
Oh, yeah.
Don't fuck with Chihuahuas.
Mm-hmm. A league of porn stars, led by Keenan from Keenan and Kel, are leading an anti-Project 2025 campaign.
Well, here's the thing, right, is Project 2025, in its core, is a fucked up prospect, and if you don't know what that is, I can't even give you a brief summary of how fucked it is. You'll have to look it up yourself. But suffice to say, it's like, if it goes through, there will be no more elections in America.
Yeah, and those proposing it think this is amazing, because that means that they will always win.
Well, yeah, because they never have to worry again. But, like, it's a lot of morality laws, in a way, but they dress it up in a way to make it seem like, okay, it's like, we want to restrict access for children to be able to access porn, and it's like, yes, that's a good thing, but also that what they define as porn is something as simple as, oh, it's okay to be gay.
Yeah, they're using this as a way to ban anyone on the rainbow who is not a heteronormative male.
Yeah, because by the very notion of being gay, that means you're automatically a creepy sex pervert and must be punished and ostracized from society. Not my words. I'm not quoting, but I'm reading you the subtext of this Project 2025. And it's not just the gay community that's being targeted. That's just the one I've chosen to represent.
Yeah, it's they're targeting women. They're targeting people of any colour outside of the peachy pink range on the Dulux chart. Basically, if you're not Aryan male, you are a target.
But yeah,
and if you are an Aryan male, then yeah, you're a target for exploitation. So, you can't win. Anyone voting for this is a turkey voting for Christmas.
The The
yes.
the leopards ate my face party is the usual go-to, but
Yeah.
the fact that you're saying a League of Porn Stars makes perfect sense, because it's going to make being essentially, if your career is any way in the adult film industry, it's going to be fucked.
Yep. So good going to the League of Porn Stars, and we wish you well. And the last thing I've seen this week is that Velma's been officially cancelled.
I know, I laughed when I saw this, because I'm like, this only got a season 2 because of people hate watching, and now the hate watchers got sick and didn't watch season 2 because they were never going to.
Yeah, apparently the last episode is the best by far, because it's the only one that has a coherent plot, and if you ignore the last 15 seconds of it, it ends with this version of Velma getting lost in hell.
Cool, I don't care. I think the less... I don't know if you noticed, Rick, but I don't think we ever addressed Velma, or at least I never brought it up, because I'm like, if no one brings this up and people ignore it, it will just go away, but then people didn't.
Mm-hmm. Meanwhile, apparently it got the season 2 before the hate watching, so it was already confirmed for season 2 from the outset, so the hate watching actually did nothing.
Well, fair enough then. That's me being incorrect, which is fine. It's not the first time and it won't be the last. I will say, it's like, how many times can we fucking point to examples of this, Rick, in the entertainment industry, where someone's gone, this is a thing I want to do, but no one's gonna... No, it's got no brand recognition and it's a new thing and it's not gonna get off the ground. I know, I will steal a beloved IP and just dress my thing up in it.
Yeah, pervert a thing that someone already knows, and make my own movie out of this with blackjack and hookers.
Because
Mario is the big deal of this that we came across, really, isn't it?
Yeah, Mario's real bad for it. Because that's a fine movie. It just shouldn't have been called fucking Mario.
Yeah.
I mean, fine's argue. I think my exact words were, if this wasn't called Mario, this would be remembered fondly as a weird fucking thing from 30 years ago, as opposed to, look, it's the shit Mario movie.
Yeah. Yeah, it's. I think the normal thing is it's so okay it's average.
It wasn't average though. It was bad, but bad in a fun way.
Yeah.
But yeah, the thing is, like, the concept of an adult-oriented Scooby-Doo is a fun concept, but that's not what was given. Scooby-Doo wasn't even in it!
Yeah.
Which, to be fair, they didn't call it Scooby-Doo, they called it Velma, but...
They did.
Like, it's just, fuck you.
Yeah. And, but yeah, that's about it from me. What have you seen, and how have you been?
Yeah, I've been okay. Wouldn't it be great if that was just my week for once? But yeah, I watched The Amazing Digital Circus episode 3, as did you.
Yes, I did.
It was a good episode. I watched the Netflix version.
Yeah, I did as well. I thought it was important to give Netflix metrics to the thing that Netflix has paid for.
Yeah, because that way they'll keep paying for it. And again, can't stress this enough. Good for the team of Digital Circus. I hope that the Netflix money helps them.
Yes.
And also Netflix has a much better subtitling system.
Yeah, they do.
This episode was fun, and it was horror themed, as we were promised. God damn it.
I think they've pretty much all been kind of horror themed to begin with, but yeah, this one was more horror themed.
The previous ones have been horror in the sense of existential dread, but that's about the limit of it. I was just gonna say, god damn it, Kinger's backstory broke my heart.
Yeah, what a good guy.
Kinger became Papa Kinger. He evolved.
He did. And then he lost all of his character development as part of the general resets that happen.
It's not even general resets. Apparently Kinger's just got memory issues.
Yeah.
Because the rest of the gang remembers everything.
Yeah, it seems to be like his personal reset thing that happens because of his memory.
Yeah.
Well, he'll go back home and he'll forget everything.
Yeah. I think Kinger's not making it to the end of the series.
Yeah, fair enough, maybe. I think it's actually going to be like a positive thing for him that he gets to reunite with his queen.
That's not really how abstraction seems to work.
We don't know.
Yeah, you're right. We don't know, but it doesn't seem to be. I'm saying it doesn't seem to be how it works.
Yeah, but the thing is, like, he's the only one that seems to have been able to communicate with his queen.
No. That was his point of view.
Okay.
Kinger is the definition of an unreliable narrator.
Oh yeah, definitely.
From his perspective, like I don't. He probably didn't see the abstraction monster. He probably still saw his queen.
Mm-hmm.
But apart from from that, him like reaching out and it's like, oh, it's going to be okay and all that shit, like it probably didn't go down that way. That's probably just how his memories have reconstructed to make the moment not seem as, fucked up.
Yeah. Well, there is also the potential that that's exactly how it went down.
Yeah. I'm not saying it's not. I'm sorry. I'm relaying my interpretation.
Yeah. Well, I'm thinking, there's the possibility that that's exactly how it went down, and that's our one glimmer of hope for characters that have been abstracted, characters that are getting abstracted, and will be abstracted. So if a character that is beloved ends up, getting lost, there's a non-zero chance that you might be able to get them back.
But I don't think that's one of the points of the digital circus. Seems to be that Pomni still wants to leave, full stop.
Yeah,
and it seems everybody. Correct me if I'm wrong, but is it not sort of implied that Pomni in the real world put like a VR headset on, and that's how she got trapped? Which implies that everyone's like that. Maybe abstraction isn't even a bad thing. Maybe abstraction is the character gets warped because the person managed to get freed.
Free. See, that's a possibility, a real possibility.
Yeah, like that's one of the fun things at the moment is they really haven't given us any answers, and we've not seen abstraction since the first episode.
We also don't know if the real characters are real. We don't know if they're like recreations of people going into the internet. Like we literally don't know, and that's kind of the part of the mystique of the series.
Well, again, it's implied that they all came in the same way as Pomni. That's there's no point in speculating on that when we've been given an answer for the moment. But yeah, that was fun. I can't wait for more. Maybe things will go quicker now that Netflix is flinging money at them. I'm not bothered one way or the other if it does come quicker or not. So the other thing I did is I picked up a game called TCG Shop Simulator. Yeah,
I've seen a bunch of people on the internet have been going really mental for this. I've seen basically where the holes in it are for you to add in mods rather easily.
Yeah, I'm not sure where you pick up mods from. I thought that it was workshop compatible, so it's not. So it's probably a Nexus jobby. I've seen the... just for clarity, guys, we had to go back and restart this segment because internet fucked us. Rick mentioned beforehand how there was a Pokemon card mod. That's the only mod I've seen for this, and it makes sense because the TCG game cards that they've made up for the game are very much based off the general Pokemon design.
Yeah, they're very much Pokemon coded. I've seen a Yu-Gi-Oh one, and I think there's been a Digimon one as well.
Quite possibly. At the moment, it's only the one card game in the game. One of the roadmap points is to add more TCG sets, so to make like not rip-offs, but legally distinct MTG and Yu-Gi-Oh, because they're the other... Like, the top three of card games are MTG, Yu-Gi-Oh, and Pokemon. They're the most recognisable.
Yeah. And I'm assuming that you can't actually play the card game.
You can't, but it does have on the roadmap that one of their goals is to make the card game playable.
Okay.
But I don't particularly care for that aspect that much, because again, the game is meant to be like you're running a game shop, not becoming fucking Seto Kaiba.
Yeah. I know there's a mod for Quick Open, where you just click the pack and everything just gets opened, and you just hear the jingle when you get something new. And there's an auto sell one where it just puts everything up for the price that it is, which if you use that, then you're just choosing what your money level is at that point, really.
Wait, so it just automatically gives you the money for the card? You don't even put it on the display?
It automatically puts it up on the display without you having to go over there, and then because it will be the regular price, people will eventually buy it.
That's fair. I usually jack up individual card prices by like 20%.
Sure.
Because I don't want to have to change them every day. Well, I say every day, every hour. But yeah, I could see both of those mods being like not must-haves, but I can understand people wanting them. It's very tedious. Especially the card opening.
Yeah, and the other one of having a can of deodorant on the shelf that is for sale for anyone, and then using that same can for spraying your individual customers who are smelly, and putting it back on the shelf for sale.
I didn't even think you could sell those.
Okay, fair enough. I thought because they were on the shelf that you could buy them.
You can buy them, but I didn't think they were products that you're meant to sell. Maybe you can. I've never tried putting them on the shelf. I've always it's one of the unfortunately real elements of the game is that there are a lot of smelly fucks that come in your shop.
Yeah.
The only difference is, unlike a real shop, you can just spray them with deodorant.
And you can see the green cloud, and you can see them being smelly before they get there.
Yeah.
Which, IRL, if you can see someone walking along with a beige tracksuit, you can tell that it was probably meant to be grey and that they're probably smelly. But other than that...
Yeah, it's a real unfortunate thing where, like, it's a trope that nerds smell for a reason. I don't know what it is. I think it's just because nerd hobbies are very... Like, they attract a male crowd, and men in general just think it's okay to not have deodorant on.
I think it's even more dark than that. I think there's a comorbidity between things that make nerds happy and depression.
Okay, we're moving on.
Yeah,
it's a fun game. It's very addictive. I picked this up because I watched the Game Grumps play Supermarket Simulator, but that's basically my real job, and I don't want to do more of that after work. So... I went for this instead, and it's been a lot of fun. They had a collaboration with a real board game company, and I love those products because they're super cheap to get and they make me a lot of money.
Yeah.
Ready for some news?
Yeah, let's go.
Outlook has finally forced a change on my laptop, and I'm mad about it.
Oh, okay. So Outlook as in, like, Office 365?
As in the email app.
Yeah.
I only use it for email. I don't have Microsoft Office. I don't need Microsoft Office.
No.
Get Open Office. It's the same thing, but free.
Yeah.
And I don't like the way it looks, because again, I get what you're saying now, actually, because I look at the window and about a tenth of the screen is just taken up with a sidebar that you can't appear to get rid of, which is just like, here, easily swap to Office and Excel and PowerPoint, and it's like, I don't have any of these and I don't want them. And by the way, in my email inbox, the first 2 messages are ads. Permanently.
Yep, they're not even messages, they're just ads that they put in the same format of what an email would be.
Yes, and sometimes I click on an email too fast.
Yeah. Well, the worst is when you're trying to click on something and the ad comes in exactly where the thing you were trying to click was.
Yeah, no. Bad Microsoft. You used to be cool.
Oh, they were never cool. They just used to be unobtrusive.
Yeah, it used to be cool.
Yeah.
The less you update your computer, the better.
Yeah. Like, I've got this hacked version of Windows 10, the Atlas project, and the biggest benefit is that you don't get the updates.
Oh, goddamn, man. And whenever you want anything, Microsoft is like, hey, why don't you download an app from the App Store? And it's like, hey, fuck off.
Yeah. Why don't you eat my entire ass?
God damn it. Okay, so, in other news, apparently the Joker sequel is awful.
Oh, yeah. It's fallen a long way from the one that won an Oscar, and now it's not even the good kind of bad that you can laugh at.
Yeah, I was going to see this last weekend with a friend of mine because they wanted to see it, and I was like, here's the thing, as I said before seeing it, I think this film will be awful, but if you want to see it, I'll tag along. I've got nothing better to do on a Saturday morning. I work on Saturday afternoon, in case people are wondering. That's why I have nothing usually to do on a Saturday morning, because I like to do fuck all before work.
Yeah.
But then like a day later, before like a couple of hours before I was intending to book some tickets, they messaged me saying, it's got shit reviews, I don't want to see it anymore. And I went, okie dokie, so we're going to see Transformers instead tomorrow.
Okay, cool.
Because that film looks fun.
Yeah, like, I think the worst part about Transformers movie, apparently, is the trailers. Like, the trailers make it look bad, and apparently it's way better than that.
This one's an animated one as well, so I've got my hopes are high.
Yeah, like, even if it's not great, at least it's giving money to animators.
Yeah, they can get 5p.
Yeah.
5p for every 5 million it makes. That sounds like an animator's salary, right?
More or less, yeah.
On that depressing bombshell, Rick, fucking Nintendo's making an alarm clock.
Oh, yeah. So I saw this. The alarm clock that they made, they announced it around the time that people were expecting them to announce the Switch 2, which, time is running out for them to announce that, to have it out before Christmas. But also, it doesn't work right if you are not a single person.
Oh no, it wouldn't, would it?
Yeah, because it only stops shouting at you when everybody is out of bed.
And the funniest thing is, fresh off the heels of them filing a lawsuit against Palworld for stealing their ideas and shit, motherfucker, everything this alarm clock does is already an app.
Yeah.
This isn't innovative technology, apart from the fact that, you can do a Pikmin minigame to wake you up.
Yep.
Get fucked, I want 5 more minutes sleep.
It's even their own app. They got Pokemon Sleep for this.
Yeah, but it's not Pokemon. It's all Nintendo.
Yeah.
This is
so therefore worse, because you can't get a shiny Lucario by not hitting snooze.
That's a thing?
Apparently, yeah. You can shiny hunt in Pokemon Sleep.
I hate everything you just said. Like, I know you didn't make the damn thing, and you're just relaying the facts to me, but I still hate it, and I kind of hate you.
I hate it, and by definition, I hate you.
Because you're the one telling me. Because my brain don't work good.
Yeah, go shit on the messenger.
Oh, that's exactly what I'm doing. Fuck. Oh.
Yeah.
While we're doing bad news, we should probably acknowledge the fact that Hurricane Milton here fucking wrecked Florida.
Oh, yes. And it's gotten so, like, the conspiracies have gotten so bad that even President Biden has had to go out on the media to say that nobody can control the weather.
Man, don't you just long for the times when it was the gays' fault?
Yeah, well, that's where they think it is when it hits a Democratic state, it's God hating the gays, and when it hits a Republican state, it's the Democrats controlling the weather.
But here's the thing: is like more often than not, it hits Florida every year.
Yeah.
It's just usually not this bad.
So they're admitting that the Democrats are more powerful than God.
Apparently, man, that's a terrifying prospect.
Yeah.
What's our political opponent doing? Here's the thing. Our political opponents control the weather. Are they making their states flourish in terms of food growth? Are they destroying their rivals? No, it's just a sunny day.
Yeah. It's a sunny day and Disneyland's flooded.
Fucking hell. Okay, I got to explain why I almost laughed there, because I'm picturing the guy in a goofy suit struggling to swim. And it's not a fun visual, but it is funny.
Well, I'm treading water. Gosh.
It's even funnier when you realise that's Hop Hop.
Now that Hop Hop is a little more high-pitched.
Yeah, but it's the same VA.
Gosh.
But yes, in other news, Mass Plus is suing Prime Energy Drink.
Okay, what is Mass Plus?
Mass Plus is the drink brand of Lionel Messi.
Oh, okay.
They are suing Prime Hydration over claims of anti-competitive actions because Prime tried to legally make Mass Plus change their packaging design.
Right, okay. Because all I've heard of Prime recently is that they supplied Prime to hurricane victims. And the gag there was, man, imagine losing your house and then being forced to drink Prime.
God, jeez. But that's just it, though. It's like it's very much a marketing ploy, and it's not a very good one because it's not something people who've just been, quite frankly, effectively lost their home. It's like, don't worry, here's some Prime Energy. It's like, I need some bread and eggs, please. You know?
Yeah.
But yeah, I've actually just looked up the Mass Plus packaging, and I'm like, yeah, it's very similar to Prime's. But you can't tell them to change their packaging. They're not trying to pretend to be Prime.
Yeah, it's like word on can or bottle is always going to be how these things look.
Also, I'm looking at the pricing, and they're laughing, these guys. The Smash Plus guys, they're fucking charging way more than Prime is.
Yeah.
Wait, are they? Oh, no, they're not. They're slightly cheaper. Sorry, I was looking at the special commemorative launch pack, which is 8 bottles for $30, which is expensive as fuck. But the regular multi-pack, which is 12 bottles, is only $19.99. Anyway, I digress. You can't tell people to change their packaging because they use the same colours as you.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm mentally picturing the Lidl aisle of their own brand Coca-Cola. It's a red can with white text.
Yeah.
The same as regular Coke. You're not going to fucking mistake it for regular Coke.
No.
Not when it's half the fucking price. But yeah, here's the thing, is despite what Logan Paul and KSI, I don't really know KSI that much. I've got no real issue with person. But you know, they're an influencer, so they're automatically a bit shitty.
Yep.
But I'm more of a hater of Logan Paul because he stepped in my ring, which is wrestling. Well, because otherwise it would have been very easy. Sorry, it would have been very easy to ignore the cunt if he didn't do that.
Yeah, you shat in my front garden.
For real. So now I have to look at the giant shit you left.
Yeah.
Like, no offense, but I digress. No offense to KSI and Logan Paul, despite my distaste for them. They don't have more money than Messi.
No, yet.
I don't think they ever will.
No.
Messi has got so much goodwill.
Not Messi. Yeah, not Messi. Yeah.
Like, first of all, he was arguably the best footballer during his generation. The other one, arguably Cristiano Ronaldo. But he was definitely the most well-liked footballer of that generation. As far as I'm aware, he's never done anything nefarious, unlike Cristiano Ronaldo, who's got certain allegations we won't talk about. Rick, what are we doing today?
We're doing Scooby-Doo and Scrappy-Doo, Season 1, Episode 1, The Scarab Lives. If you want to join along at home, it's 3, 2, 1, and go.
So we're watching some old-ass rips of this show. Which means there was like a 1 second long just delay of just us watching a black screen.
Yeah. Oh, I remember exactly this opening.
Yeah, it's classic.
Yeah, it's the classic opening.
I believe they also changed the formula of this show in that they're fighting real monsters. There was no mummy in there when they went in.
No, there wasn't. Well, there's no mummy there now.
Well, hey! Fuck me, I forgot about puppy power.
Yeah, because Scrappy can actually, Okay, he thinks he can fight, and he always puts his dukes up.
But yeah, it's a weird, it's that age-old adage of it's not the size of the dog in the fight.
Yeah, it's the size of the fight in the dog.
Yeah, again, Chihuahuas, evil.
Yeah, and they've got the same amount of aggression as a Great Dane, just condensed.
Great Danes are fucking pussies.
Yeah, exactly. They've got the same amount of aggression. Just condensed into, 1/32th of the size.
Well, there's an old quote from a veterinary manual, which was shared on Tumblr, where it essentially went like, I trust the training of the handler of a German Shepherd. I trust the strength of the biker who has a Rottweiler. When I see a Chihuahua, I weep.
Yeah. Scarabs don't have stings.
Yeah, like a bite would make sense, wouldn't it? But
yeah, they got the good old mandibles.
I'm wondering if the blue beetle existed back then. Probably not, right?
It might have done, but it was whatchamacallit. It was DC, wasn't it? So.
Yeah, no, I'm just wondering if they ripped it off or not for this and were purposefully parodying it.
Probably. Like he looks more like a legally distinct Batman than a Blue Beetle.
You know, the funny thing is during the opening cinematic when they were just panning across the city skyline, I did think, wow, this looks like it could be straight out of a Batman cartoon.
Yeah, and they've already done the Batman crossover. We did that last week.
Yeah.
It wasn't good, but they did one.
Blue Beetle is the name of 3 superheroes appearing in a number of American comic books, published by a variety of companies since 1939.
Okay. Oh no, I forgot that Scrappy had his roticism.
His what now?
The Jonathan Ross disease.
Oh, what? Not being able to see your R's?
Yeah.
It's not a disease. It's technically a lisp.
Yeah, it's a speech impediment. But yeah, I think it's called roticism.
To be fair,
yeah,
I'll bring out the old line. That is some Scooby-Doo shit.
Yeah, Velma calling bullshit in frame 1. Okay, yeah, Scooby knows the drill.
Yeah. That's pretty cool looking, though.
It is. It's a rather large piece of merchandise to have left behind.
Yeah. Man, the laugh track feels incredibly disingenuous in old Scooby-Doo, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does.
I was going to say one person drawing a comic book, but I suppose in the 80s was a realistic thing. But
yeah, it's only when they got like so popular that they wanted more every week that they would like hire like extra people like for inking and lettering.
But like I swear, even back in the day, it was like you had the illustrator, inks, colours,
and writer,
writer, letters, like lettering, as he mentioned. Scrappy looks pissed.
He does a bit.
But man,
his head is the same size as Scooby's.
I think that's the joke.
Yeah.
No, that's not how it works, sir.
Yeah. It's normally not written until it's ready to go to print.
So I heard back in the day the reason why the Spider-Man comics were so fucking bullshit insane is because Stan Lee would tell... It might not have been... I think it was Stan Lee. Would tell... what's his name? Wozniak? No, that's fucking... No, that's Apple.
Yeah.
Jack Kirby.
Yeah, but... Okay, yeah.
I think he used to tell Jack Kirby what to draw. So he would draw the fucking panels, and then they would get coloured and all that. And then it would be another guy just writing the story, and they just have to write bullshit to make the panels make sense.
But yeah, that guy that's just left is the very obvious villain.
Hang on, I know that sound effect. That's from fucking... that sounds like fucking... Megalon from Godzilla vs. Megalon.
It is. It's pretty cool that he's got, like, built-in voice reverb.
Oh, yeah. Shaggy, my guy, you could have just shut the fuck up and let him do what he do. So the Blue Scarab is a fanboy who doesn't want the Blue Scarab to go heel.
Apparently, but the way to stop that is by going heel himself.
Well, the Blue Scarab
it would just be
real,
like
so...
when. Oh yeah. It would be just like when someone saw the Hail Hydra thing of Captain America and then decided to combat that by dressing up as Captain America and going around and being a Nazi.
I don't think that's it at all. Doubly so when that fucking wasn't even a permanent thing. It was someone pretending, or he was brainwashed or something. So it wasn't even Cap. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he was. Yeah, I think he was brainwashed into thinking that he'd been raised that way.
Gruber, like from fucking Bruce Willis movie Die Hard.
Okay. Is that what Alan Rickman is?
Yeah, he's called Hans Gruber.
Okay.
Say it ain't so. Man, I miss the days of fucking big old loot swag bags, which is just a big old duffel sack with a $sign on it.
Yeah. Oh, another thing that was in the Not the Onion this week was police find a bag that says definitely not drugs and open it and there's drugs in it.
I mean, it's orc logic, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, at the end of the day, if they found the bag, they were already going to find the drugs, so why not have a laugh?
Yeah. So what's the betting that the artist isn't actually an artist? And when he says he takes photos of the pages that he draws, he's actually taking photos of the guy dressing up as the Blue Scarab.
It's not the worst idea in the world, I suppose. But then how were they in the same room? Oh wait, no, that'd be if they were the same person. You're saying that it's a different person and he's taking pictures of the crimes.
Yeah, he's taking pictures of someone dressed up in Scarab gear. Like dressing up in a studio or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah. But here's the thing that's throwing me for a loop a little bit, is the Blue Scarab appears to actually have powers. That's already different from the usual Scooby-Doo thing, where it's all like House of Horrors, special effects in a place they've rigged up, but he's just going to all places across the city and straight up nicking shit.
Yeah, it's all like smoke and mirrors. Like actual smoke and mirrors.
But it can't be smoke and mirrors when he's breaking into places and stealing shit.
And also shocking people with his very presence.
Yeah. Yeah.
It always bugged me how wide the Scooby van was, and you could get like that many people side by side on the front seat.
Yeah, but Shaggy's like skinny as fuck.
Yeah.
I love that. It's like, Scrappy, stay here for your own safety. And then you got Scooby and Shaggy like, can we stay here, please?
Death approaches. Cut to commercial break.
Just children crying as they think Scrappy's going to get splattered.
Hey, look, Uncle Scooby! Death approaches!
He doesn't quite sound that Boston-y.
And also, I said the letter R in approaches. Death approaches!
Now, this is just silly.
Literal Scooby-Doo shit.
They didn't even fucking... Oh! Look at that fucking shit that's clearly a sketch they couldn't be asked to fit. Okay, it's solidified a bit more now, but when it was first planted, it had the sketch lines and everything.
Yeah, it looks like it's made of cardboard, like IRL.
It could be. You know what? Considering how he just said camouflage, I get why you did the voice you did.
Camouflage, yeah. Yeah.
I would absolutely adore Scrappy-Doo as a real-life pet, assuming he didn't talk.
Yeah. Yeah, he is kind of cute in a weird way.
Like, you look at the size of Scrappy-Doo, and you look at the size of Scooby-Doo, and you just think, man, Scooby-Doo could, like, shit out a Scrappy.
Yeah. Oh, they're skipping the Scooby-Doo shit just to show us lights.
Yeah, that was their take on the Scooby-Doo hallway gag for this episode. Wait, hold on a minute. Both elevators said that they could reach the roof, but there's only one shaft on the rooftop. What the fuck's this? Is that just... What the fuck? When did he... When?
Yeah, I am also befuddled.
Scooby's not going to be proud, but Fred's going to be proud of that level of trap.
Yeah. Yeah, I think Scrappy is just proving how effective he would be as a Scooby villain. So, by that logic, yeah, I can see exactly why he was the villain in Scooby-Doo the Movie 1.
No, what do you mean he'd be a Scooby-Doo villain?
Like, he's showing the amount of, like, trap, crafting...
Yeah, but Fred does that, Rick.
Yeah, true, fair enough.
That was the entire point I was making.
Sure.
What happened to the leaves you covered it up with, Scrap? You just get tired and fucking sweep them off screen.
Yeah. Where did the sea come... Oh, it was a fountain.
You're the blue scarab?
Uncle Scarab?
Yeah, it's not like fucking
There's going to be a video camera in there, isn't there?
At least a timer, maybe, that's going to blow up the office.
Yeah, yeah.
Looks just a little bit like Stephen King, right?
A little bit, yeah.
So would you not think that it was just a publicity stunt if the Blue Scarab was going around stealing shit?
I don't know. I think it was just some weird kind of copycat criminal.
But again, that hasn't been released yet.
Yeah, yeah. It is really weird.
Like there's a crime spree up in Manchester and Batman's doing it.
Yeah.
When the fuck did he get up there? Did I blink and miss it?
Oh no, they did show him on there. Oh, they're going to the the slicey dicey thing.
Why is that in a fucking paper factory?
For cutting the one paper, so they have like a continuous paper thing going.
But
so it cuts it into A4 size.
But why would it be a guillotine and not like a swipe?
So that a human can get in.
But oh, whatever. Health and safety would have a field day.
Yeah.
Because I'm thinking of the guillotine that we used to have in like secondary school, where you literally just sliced it from left to right. So why would the mechanism just not be that and prevent this shit?
Maybe because like the bigger it is, the less sharp it has to be, so it can go longer without being sharpened.
I guess that could be the reason. Sorry I was silent for so long because I'm thinking. But that's stupid.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, break his neck!
Do an Assassin's Creed takedown. Give him rabies in the eyes.
Implying that Scrappy has rabies.
If you don't have it yet, give it to him anyway. He looks like a doll now.
Well, yeah, because the animators got lazy.
Yeah.
Jesus, man, Daphne's fucking waist is far too thin in this. Like, she's all tits and hips.
Yeah. Yeah, you can tell why a lot of people are into redheads.
Had nothing to do with my comment. How could you, Hans? There's nothing worse than having like a younger relative who looks up to you and thinks you're a god, and whenever they come up with bullshit like this, you just go, "Yep, sure." That is the dumbest reason for this shit.
Yeah, it's totally stupid.
I love the animation on Scrappy's little fucking tail wag.
Yeah. He goes into turbo mode.
That's translation for any creative saying, "That's shit and I'm not doing it."
Yeah.
Like, that sure
That's
is
certainly an idea. Yeah.
It's what you say. It's what you tell kids when they say, I think that a beholder should have like snakes instead of like gravy. Where did gravy come from? Because like gravy comes from like their drool.
Like their drool.
And yeah, sorry, I was trying to talk like a kid.
Yeah, it comes from the drool. Because whenever I'm drooling, my grandma says, "Oh, hey, you're losing your gravy," and therefore that's what gravy is. And beholders drool all the time, and therefore they should have guns instead of eyes.
That's certainly an idea, Billy. It's like, cool, leave me alone.
It was fine. Like, I understand some of the hate, but it wasn't as egregiously bad as I was led to believe. However, I'm pretty sure it gets worse than this. The only problem is I'm going to be struggling for favourite moments and MVPs.
Were you not watching the episode?
Yeah, but I'm struggling for high points.
There wasn't any particular low points.
Yeah, that's the thing. There wasn't really any. It was so okay. It was average. How about you? What do you think?
Rick, this saved Scooby-Doo.
Yeah, apparently.
No, apparently it's a fact.
Oh yeah. If we go by what you told me, which by all accounts has to be true because it's in the past.
Like, it is what it is. Scooby-Doo was going to get cancelled. This show came out. It did well. Scooby-Doo didn't get cancelled, and it's still alive and well to this day.
Yes, it is.
So, what does that tell you? Rick's wrong. Yeah, I thought the show was okay. Comparing it directly to last week's, it greatly benefits by being half the length.
Oh, yes. That's a big benefit there. And another big benefit is you could see the increase in animation quality. Not everything was good, but the things that were well done, you could like really see it. Like when they zoomed in, for instance, on Velma's hands, like they were like really well like detailed.
I suppose. I don't think the animation took a massive leap forward, if at all, from the last season we watched. I think the only thing that stands out, again, is like Scrappy is surprisingly well animated, but apart from that...
Yes, because there's only like 7 years in between.
7 years, blimey. Was the last one 72?
Yeah.
Jeez. Yeah, no, again, at a glance, I wouldn't have been able to tell you that there was any different animation-wise. But that's just my take. And to be honest with you, I think I'm going to say something similar when we do next week's episode as well. It's like, animation-wise, there's not much of a difference. I don't think until 2003 it's like, oh, they're using computers now, and it's quite clear that they're getting a bit of help.
Yeah. I just cheated and looked ahead, and yeah, it does look different. So we got some interesting, something fun to look forward to next week.
Yeah, but I also got that video off of Daily Motion, so the quality might not be the best.
Sure. I just skipped to like a frame in the middle, and it looked very stylized.
But yes, let's get down to brass tacks, shall we? Rick, I know you said you were struggling, but I think I've padded for time for you to think. Do you have a favourite moment?
I think it was probably the when Scrappy was doing his trap, and we just saw all the Scooby-Doo shit condensed into a short little thing of, okay, here is the villain goes by, the villain misses the trap, Scooby goes in the trap, Scrappy goes and unmasks the villain, and it's Scooby.
Yeah, except it wasn't a mask, was it?
Oh, it wasn't even a mask, he was just in the pond.
Yeah. Man, I love how it went from an ocean to a fountain to a pond.
Oh yeah, it was definitely a fountain. I forgot the word for fountain. Yeah, because all we saw from coming in from the side was, there's this water. Where did the ocean come from? And it's a fountain. But yeah, I think that was just like an abridged version of the entire episode. Was just that little segment. But yeah, how about you? What did you do? You have a favourite moment?
Yeah, my favourite moment was classic Scooby and Shaggy food-related shenanigans. Granted, we didn't get it too much in this episode, but I did like at the beginning Shaggy getting distracted by his comic book, so Scooby magics up a stupidly long straw and steals his orange soda.
Yeah.
Wow.
And hey, that's a bit of a callback, because who loves orange soda? Kel loves orange soda.
Yeah, but it was Keenan, wasn't it? Did you say Kel?
Yeah, Keenan from Keenan and Kel was the one that's leading the League of Pornstars.
Alright, so I'm now going to change it to orange juice instead of soda.
Sure. Or orange milkshake.
Oh, there's no fucking way. Oh, that being said, like, the local Geek Cafe, they do a Jaffa Cake milkshake, and it's delicious.
Oh, yes. Our Geek Retreat used to do that as well.
I wasn't going to name the brand because they're not paying us.
Well, the one near us is also closed, so...
Well, then.
Yeah.
Rick, weakest link, let's get it.
It was so weird listening to the plot of this and trying to make the mental gymnastic steps to how it was ever going to succeed.
Yeah, the actual motivation at the end of, I'm going to make the Blue Scarab be a villain in the eyes of the general public, so that means I'll get a chance to make my new comic book character. Yeah,
if the Blue Scarab fails if the Blue Scarab is a villain, people won't want to read the actual comic, and if people don't read the actual comic gets cancelled, and if the actual comic is cancelled, then there's an opening in the paper for the new comic.
And in about 10 years' time in the comic book industry, people fucking love anti-villains, anti-heroes, and villains as protagonists for their comic books. So we only had to wait for a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah, it was so weird. Like, maybe give it another 20 minutes in the writing room. How about you? What's your weakest link?
Oh, some of the animation was incredibly lazy, but not even by the standards of the time, just like the standards I've seen in this episode. They took some shortcuts that they didn't need to take, and it was very obvious. The gargoyle, obviously being a rough sketch to begin with until it stopped moving, was incredibly jarring. At the end, you pointed out how the blue scarab was, while it was rolled up in the giant roll of paper, it looked weird.
Yeah, he was completely unanimated. He wasn't even blinking.
Which, these are animation tricks that we know about, and there's nothing wrong with them. It's just, they're tricks. They're not meant to be obvious.
Yeah, he looked like a piece of the background, which, technically he was, because Shaggy, Scoob, and Scrappy were, like, on top of it, and they were the ones moving, but, yeah.
Yeah, it looks like someone coloured in a storyboard and just went, fuck it, good enough. Which, again, shortcuts aren't always the worst thing in the world. It's just, if you take them, people shouldn't know about it.
Yeah.
Alright, let's get to the crowning glory of our podcast, Rick, the patented MVP segment. Who's getting it today?
I think Scooby himself gets it, because not only did he pull the regular duty of wrangling Shaggy and poking Shaggy in the right direction and making sure the plot gets uncovered by mistake, he was also wrangling Scrappy.
Yeah, he's very much wrangled into the Scrappy-Doo wrangler for this. Speaking of Scooby and Scrappy-Doo, there's this very weird thing where, it's almost implied by the animated intro, where Scrappy gets thrown off the train and just deposited in Scooby's lap, that that's how he met Scrappy. But I'm pretty sure later on, maybe even in this series, they reveal that Scooby-Doo was just there when Scrappy was born.
Yeah, there's also the common theory that Scooby is actually Scrappy's father rather than just an uncle.
Yeah, that's not true, because it's his sister.
Yeah, fair enough. Then again, that doesn't stop dogs.
Okay, but in the terms of a cartoon for children, it does stop it.
Yeah. Yeah, like I like that there's the song in the All Cartoons Are Freaking Dicks song. Now I've got a child out of wedlock. He's dealing my career a fatal blow. Now listen, Andy, maybe. No.
I don't know what
you said. Well, who's the baby? Now listen, Andy, maybe. Now you see why freaking Scrappy's got to go.
Okay. Again, I don't know what you're referencing.
That's fine. It's a Family Guy song from back when Family Guy was funny.
So about 20 years ago.
Yep, like actually, maybe 18 years ago, but yes.
I'm just waiting for you to ask me the question, bro.
But yes, what was your who's going to be your MVP?
Oh, gee, it's going to be Scrappy-Doo. I think it's disingenuous not to give him a nod, especially seeing as I don't think he's showing back up again in our Scooby-Doo journey. He might be in Rare Racer. I don't think he is. Or if he is, he's not in it for long. He wasn't bad in this. It was fine. He wasn't the main focus. He was just there.
Yeah.
And also, again, he was so well animated. The way they animated his little wagging tail was just adorable.
It was adorable, yeah. And it's one of those, like, they very definitely, like, yes, okay, the head is about the same size as Scooby's head, and that's kind of the gag, but also it was a lot more rounded. Like, his front lips were more bum-shaped to make him look more cute. And yeah, he had nowhere near the amount of vitriol-attracting awfulness that he's known for in this episode.
Very much a retroactive is the word I was looking for. Reaction to Scrappy is that I don't think Scrappy was ever hated as much as he was, as much as he is now, as he was at the time when he was new. You know, I think after like a couple of seasons of Scrappy being the focus, because again, this isn't Scrappy-Doo's only series. Scrappy-Doo is almost a staple of Scooby-Doo cartoons in the 80s, and I think that's where he got his reputation of, it's all about Scrappy now. Fuck off, Scrappy. Like, he had go-away heat.
Yes.
Because I know at the tail end of this series, they get rid of, or rather, Fred, Daphne, and Velma just stop showing up, and it's just Scooby, Shaggy, and Scrappy. And I think that might have contributed to some of the venom.
Yeah.
But yeah, in this show, he wasn't that bad. I think the reason why his head is as big as Scooby's is because, one, it is funny, it's a visual gag for jokes, but also I think if you scaled his head down to the size of his body, it would be too small to animate well.
I get you.
That's my suspicion anyway. But
Fair enough.
Yeah, I think that brings us to a close. What did you guys think out there about the very first episode of Scrappy-Doo showing up in Scooby, in a series bearing his name no less? Let us know in the comment section.
And tell us what else you think of Scrappy and other things, other memories that you may have of him and the Scooby Gang.
Yeah, but please don't flood the comment section with, like, fucking hate Scrappy-Doo. Because
I mean, you can. It's engagement.
You can. I'm asking you not to, because I get it. Scrappy-Doo is a polarizing figure. I don't think in this episode he was that much of a problem. Mm-hmm. I know a lot of people don't like Scrappy-Doo, and that's fine. At the end of the day, it's a fuck cartoon. Join us again next week, if you please, where we'll do more Scooby-Doo, specifically a movie. We haven't done a Scooby-Doo movie. Well, I think our very first Halloween we did one, right?
Yeah, we did the Hex Girls one.
No, we did the Ghoul School.
Oh, the Ghoul School. Yes, the Ghoul School. The Ghoul School is different to the Hex Girls. I have to remember that.
Yeah, the Hex Girls is a band that a lot of people want to fuck. The Ghoul School is a bunch of adorable, I wouldn't say toddler, but like 6-year-old monster girls. Yeah,
the precursor to Monster High.
No. But yeah, comment section down on YouTube, comment section over on Spotify. We will read out comments if they're good enough. Trust me, we've done it before. And we also have an email address.
Subscribe if you think we deserve it.
Oh, you take it, Rick. Go on.
Yeah, and we've also got the emails that if you don't have the comment section, and that would go to...
I said you take it.
Okay, the email goes to nonsensereviewuk@gmail.com.
Sometimes Rick gets a bit, shall we say, fidgety when I'm doing the outro spiel. He's like, he's not said this, I should say this. And I take half a second to start my next sentence, and then Rick jumps in with, but also do this. And it's like, there's a list. I'm going through the list. And Rick's like, no, we got to do it now!
No!
Yeah, so see you next week for more Scooby-Doo, guys, and more Spooktober.
Bye, everybody.